I'm halfway out, just trying to lose you now. Yeah, it was an illusion now. Yeah, I just wanna see you out. So give it up, leaving all your texts on red with the games you left now. Give it up, you're sick of all the things you said getting in my head now. So I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know where you go. I don't wanna know. Yeah, it was an illusion now. You're leaving all the doors locked out. Yeah, I don't wanna know. Yeah, I don't wanna know. Two shots with a broken spleen, yeah. I'm blessed with the mess you leave, yeah. It's hard to stop in me, yeah. So I don't wanna know all the things that you left in my brain, starting all over again. Yeah, I only put it away, now you right back in my face. Yeah, I'm done with all that you can say, yeah. So leave me alone, 'cause I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know where you go. I don't wanna know. Yeah, it was an illusion now. You're leaving all the doors locked out. Yeah, I don't wanna know. Yeah, I don't wanna know. So I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know where you go. I don't wanna know. So I don't wanna know.
Don't forget about me and all the things I could give to you, baby. But I guess you can't see, making new memories with me. Oh, yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Oh, yeah, I'm good either way. I'm good either way. What happened to forever? Now
GGB, it sounds like they're running Dre. Ash is
Echo
dead.
catches out the Ash, ultimates, and walks away. The Zach is going to get late to the party, but again, Echo able to punish. Meanwhile,
Alawi
here
is
comes
back.
the Alawi. Here comes the ultimate being laid down. Zaya is just going ham here. They can't get to her. The Zach finally gets on top of the Zaya, but the Zaya is just sitting here melting people in the background. The Triss jumps over the wall with the Ziggs to try to
Get him, man. I'm gonna kill him.
Here comes the Echo. He does land the combo, but he does not get the stun off, and now he's forced to back away. Meanwhile, the Mord is just collecting inside. The Echo does re-engage with the Ash, but immediately killed out by the Ziggs. He can't continue, and they're just pushing forward into this place. The Ziggs is just coming around with the Triss from the back. Ooh. Renata gets out of position, steps in, and one set. You need to respect that Kaisa. Now here comes the engage on the side. Nefiri is going to catch Belarus. She does ultimate to avoid death, but now Kilgar is the tank. He's in place. Zach is able to leap past the entire team and claim the life of the Zion. You know that this is his last fight. We do see the Wukong. It's just a fight. He is going to ultimate. He does not get to the Kaisa, so that is important. Now here comes the ultimate. The Fury is on the backside. There is no damage yet coming down on this particular Kaisa. Was not able to get to that fight correctly.
A lot of pings went out towards the
IP lock missed it. He actually missed it and whiffed. Here comes on the backside. Feather comes fly, deletes the Wukong. They cannot get to the Xayah. Now the Kled, who's already gonna chunked out. Xayah collects even more. And now on the backside, Karma's been caught out by the Lilia. The Kled is now low. Here comes the Syndra. Kilgar says, hello, nice to see you. Circling to the side, they don't want to engage. He is going to bandage. He is going to ultimate on the Wukong. The Wukong still jumps into the pit, and Skara is still here on this backside fighting this Mumu. But here comes the damage. Wukong has already been deleted. Mundo is going to claim the life of Karma. Lilia claims the Baron. Here comes the stun from Syndra. She double up. Here comes Mundo. Briefcases are flying. Health bars are flying. Lilia is coming through. Silas and Ezreal are desperately trying to get away, but here comes the Lilia. Down she claims the Silas. Ezreal's on the run. Lilia is still coming for this Ezreal. Ezreal is gonna fall. The double kill.
Good evening, everybody. It's a Fancy Schmancy Tuesday night. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Hi, TBT Freak 2 here. On my whatever side I'm pointing at currently at the moment, that is Astroglider on the other side. So welcome. This is week 1 of Gold playoffs between these two teams of Kuiper Esports and Hard Stuck Gold. We're now just filling the lobby as we speak, so we'll be starting soon. Week 1 playoffs. These are best of 3s. The best of 5s don't start until 2 weeks from today, so this is not going to be a long one. I might be egoing and saying it's about to be a short game at Lamau. No, that's a joke, actually. Both of these teams are pretty evenly matched when it comes to the Rift itself. I was doing a little bit of stat digging as we were here, but before we get into all that, Astro, how you doing, my man?
Scorching hot with this wonderful Texas weather. How about you, Freak?
I'm gonna show you guys how toasty it is here in Tejas right now. You probably won't see it very well on my phone, but come on, go ahead and load. You see this even though this says 99 degrees, this is very misleading. You want to know why? Because it's humid, making it feel like it's over 100, and it's been like that for about 50 days now. It's phenomenal. This last month was the hottest July ever recorded on Earth. We're doomed. Anyway, so back to League of Legends. So far, we are getting ready to make these draft laws, and as I was mentioning, I was going through the stats of both of these teams. And so far, I think this is going to be a pretty evenly matched game. Kuiper, in particular, has really good vision scores. That's something that I noticed. And then Hardstuck Gold also as well has some pretty solid vision scores. Objective control as well. And just all around, just like map play, if that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna go ahead. So, sorry about that. Opening up the draft laws, and I'm gonna send it to you just a second, Astro. There you go. Anyways, back to what I was saying is these two teams are really good at map play. So I'm expecting a lot of like map control coming out of both these teams. A lot of like pressure coming out of these junglers as well. And now I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to get started into draft soon. So I'll stop rambling at the moment. So, Astro, you start rambling while I stop rambling.
So you kind of touched on it, right? Like these are two teams. Specifically, I'm looking at Oni and Asa to kind of establish tempos for the team. I've played a lot with Oni. I know his play style. I know he likes to play aggressive junglers. He likes to invade other jungles. He likes to hard camp lanes and get leads for his teammates, as long as they're not Wrath. Typically, Wrath, he leaves on an island, and I believe their words before the game, because I did go and speak to him before the game. They said the harder that Wrath ints at the start of the game, the harder they will win later on. So look for Oni maybe to play around Waps, maybe to play around Scarlet and Serpup down bottom. Obviously, one of the keys to stopping Oni is to take away his toys. He loves his Belbath. He loves his Kindred. Those are are kind of his favorite play toys that he likes to play. He loves his Kanye. So taking those toys away if they want to focus him is a good start. And then on the other side from Asa, kind of the Ivern, the Maokai, kind of more of the big, more of the big bulkier. So, but also again trying to establish that pressure for his team. So we'll have to see how that plays out if they're going to try to hard ban Oni and force somebody else to step it up. So I'm interested to see specifically how Oni plays into this and what Kuiper is going to do against him.
Absolutely, and we are gearing up for draft. So, if my knowledge serves me correctly, nothing funky should be coming out of this patch since I was last here. I believe we are. Oh, this is 13.16 patch notes. So this is for tomorrow, not today. So I will not read this. I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore that. So we've been on 2 weeks now.
But you're missing Nefiri and Rengar are enabled for playoff play if they want to be played.
Did I miss something? Why was Rengar disabled?
So Rengar had a previous issue with his ultimate not showing correctly, so it didn't show that it was in use, and so he was kind of tabled until that part was adjusted and fixed.
Okay, well, I knew why Neferi is because new champ doesn't get played anywhere, which is really interesting to think about, especially as we're coming near the end of pro play. As I believe the LCS ends this weekend, the LPL's been over for a little bit. EU starts back up for their qualifiers this weekend. LCK should follow suit in a couple of weeks, I believe, and then by then we'll have all of our teams for Worlds. But that means Nefaria is going to be enabled and able to be played at Worlds. So who is going to whip out the dog first? I'm pretty excited to see because this could be like a really interesting like Worlds meta that we got going on. Also, it's rumored that Akali and Silas are going to be buffed before then, so we know who Riot wants the pro players to play before that happens. We'll see if that bleeds into amateur play as well. We are waiting for, I believe, already. Are we? Let's see what's going on.
Let's not buff Akali again. I can do without Akali being buffed.
Yeah, I would actually not complain because I am a filthy Akali abuser.
Ew.
Yeah, I enjoy playing Akali. Let's see. I'm about to ego on stream real quick. Oh, I do have Mastery 7. Okay, I had to make sure. I haven't played her in a hot second, but I think the last game I played her, I got a pentakill. So, no big deal, right? I'm just kind of good at the champion. I just like playing her. They say she's hard, but I disagree. If you know how to press buttons, she's not that hard. That's just the way it is. All right. I do believe. Are we starting in a second? Nope. We're still waiting by the looks of it.
They are getting set up for. So while we're doing that one, we can talk a little bit about two things. Obviously, down, actually up at the top there, just right above DBC Freak, you will see our sponsor, Coachify GG, is a new platform for esports coaches to track their students or grow their business with zero commissions. It is a perfect way to level up. Got it in for you, Freak. Now it's down below. Now it's moving. All right. So now, right off the get-go, we see the bands, we see the Kindred, we see and the Ivern going off. So that's one of Oni's toys. We see the time and time with the Kindred. And if you don't want to play something like the Gragas into it to take the Kindred out of the ultimate, it makes sense to go ahead and just ban it out. And then obviously the return fire is Ivern because Ivern is stupidly broken at the moment.
I agree because that dude's shielding is pretty stupid. But the thing about Ivern is he is mildly counterplayable, I will say. It just depends if you have a lot of burst to get through those shields. And I will use the example of Cloud9 instance. They beat NRG this past weekend on an Ivern game. It looked like they were going to lose. But just through being able to burst through his shields quick enough to get through and get to the carries, it made it actually seem like playable. So something for teams to keep in mind as we go on is that it is possible to beat Ivern. It's just hard. But right now we have Swain and Zyra being banned away. Zyra, I'm really annoying pick in the bot lane. Even if they decide to flex a minion, it's still really annoying. The zone of control that she can have in a lane with the snare and with the ultimate as well. Shyvana being banned out as well. And the dog is being taken off the table. So we will not get a chance to see that, unfortunately. So anyone that was looking forward to it, I'm sorry, you don't get to see it. So Kui here, you know, Kuiper have an option here. What they want to first pick. They can either stick to what they know is comfortable, or they can just go right for something meta. We've seen a lot of Ash first pick recently because that champion is seeing a lot of like rise in priority with the utility that she can bring out. I mean, you also have a Phelios that's open, or another AD carry pick, or the Maokai, and just go ahead and take the words right out of my mouth. Get a really strong priority jungler, and you also mentioned that the Maokai is another pick that Kuiper will fall back on. Echo being the instant answer, which is very interesting. I think we've seen a little bit of Echo coming through, and Xayah locked in as well, a strong AD carry. So let's also keep in mind that Echo is arguably a flex pick. He can go mid lane, but just more popular in the jungle with the damage that he gets from the W passive, I believe, if I remember correctly. But moving on. So Kuiper have an option here: either pick your AD carry for an answer and to avoid a couple of bans coming out later, or play the safe bet, maybe pick up a support before you decide like how you want to draft this comp around. Rel is open, but of course the Alistar counter pick is also open, so that's something to keep in mind. They're going to go ahead and lock in the Zeri, who's not seen as much priority as of recently, mostly because Xayah's broken, Ashe is broken, you have Varus who's also picked over her, and then Aphelios is Aphelios. Need I say more to that one? So don't need anything about that, but from here, Kuiper will go ahead and decide what they want their next pick to be. I think you pick up your support, to be completely honest with you. You're kind of already like showing what you're trying to do, going for more of this hard scaling comp. Gazeri does need time to scale. So you might as well just pick a safe pick, whether that's a support here. And they go ahead and go with the classic enchanter, the Lulu. That's not much of a surprise. Now, will this make a Hearthstone Gold decide that they want to also go for this support pick? I think you should. I mean, you don't really need an engaged support with Xayah. You can also avoid bans coming out later against a support pick. Or yep, there it is, the Morgana right there. Okay, so we have our junglers and bot lanes here at the moment. So the draft is going about kind of what I expected so far. Is about the same for you.
Yeah. So the Echo is a big pick for Oni. He loves to play the aggressive style Echo dive in. So this will not be a flex. Laps is not an Echo player that I've ever seen, but I do know that Oni loves the Echo. And surprising fact for you: that Zeri is not ADC. That Zeri is going to be mid.
Okay, mid lane, good to know. I could see that. I mean, solo lane XP, more chance to hard scale, so that actually makes a lot of sense. So it looks like Hyper is baiting them into this, but Rumble being taken off the table. I've noticed that's a lot of like recency. Let's see if I'm getting my bearings right here. A lot of recency with Rumble being banned out in a lot of regions and even throughout like amateur play as well. So it looks like we're gonna stick towards maybe top lane bans coming through. Urgot's Urgot. That's all.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to ban Raspool because Wrath will play every damn tank under the sun.
Everything.
So you ban the Urgot, great. He still has the Mundo. He still has the Scion. He still has the Ornn. He's gonna play every single tank. So throwing bans at him is kind of an odd choice, just because he's got so many tanks. But if they don't want to see the Urgot in specifically, okay, fine. Now we see back to the Cassante being taken off. This tells me that Oni might get tricky here. Maybe play the Jax.
Jax? Yeah, I think so. That's typically the ban into Cassante because Cassante is broke, and I will not take any slander towards my name. Cassante is broke and has been. Looks like they actually missed the last ban. Let me check and see if it was what it's supposed to be. So, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be Kled. All right. So that last ban is supposed to be Kled. Just so everyone's caught up, it's not a misban. All right.
Still leave the Volley Bear open for Wrath. So again, they target ban Wrath, but his pool is just so big. It's kind of hard to pick on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has really great stats on the Urgot and the Kled, but he still has his Gnar. He still has the Jax. Like he just has so many picks. It's hard to ban him out. He does end up taking the Ornn. So.
So this is a hard scaling comp, I have to say, from the side of hard split goal. I mean, you have the Xayah. Obviously, she needs a couple items before she can do anything. Echo is a really good champion into the late game as well. We don't see him terribly often too much, But from the games I would play, he's honestly just like still exceptionally strong from what I know. And Cho'Gath being the potential response here, that'd be very interesting. Okay, Cho'Gath is a champion we also don't see very often. The classic Heartsteel build is what you'll see. So that way, when he autos you, you lose 3/4 of your health, and then he eats your butt cheeks because that's Cho'Gath. That's what he does. Now from here we have I guess an ADC pick, since you mentioned Zeri is in the mid lane most likely. So this should be a potential 80 carry pick coming in. You see the
Isa
Vala.
maybe, or the MF.
I think Kai'Sa would be the best option,
Probably
to be
fits
totally honest.
into this comp. I think the Kaisa is a better choice, obviously, than
There it is.
Than the MF. So
Okay, yep, so they locked that in. That is the Kai'Sa that will be going in the bot lane for the side of Kuiper. Now, Harstickle, what do you got? What you got to do? What you gon' do? You have a mid laner to pick left or jungler, Echo's a flex pick. I will reiterate that again. It looks like they're gonna stick with the classic Tristana mid. That's usually the response into Kai'Sa, which is actually kind of funny because there is a chance that Harstickle does think that this series going is going to the bot lane, so that will be it for the draft. And now, just kind of thinking, just thinking with my noggin here. And both these teams obviously need a lot of time to scale. So this could potentially be a long game, I think. Because they need at least like 25, 30 minutes to scale into the game, get their items, and then have the really obnoxious 5v5 fight, probably like, let's say about 24 and a half minutes into the game. That will swing the game wide open for one person. Now, there is obviously a chance that we could also go just full LPL style and just brawl the whole time. That is very likely the case. It's just it's gonna be interesting to see how these teams get executed. I'm gonna be watching the Echo in particular myself to see like what his game plan is, kind of see like where he wants to go and whatnot, and like where his priority is going to be. I'm assuming probably mid lane, because when you get a Tristana ahead, she's an absolute monster as a split pusher, and that's a champion that you don't want to get super far ahead. Also predictions are live, so anyone in chat, if you want to throw a prediction real quick to who you think is going to win this game, either Kuiper or Hardstuck Gold, go ahead and do that for the time being. And let's see if okay, we got a little bit of stuff coming in. We're just waiting on teams to go in the draft and the client. Astro, I'm going to ask you an objective question because I do this every single time. Based off these two junglers, the Maokai and the Echo, where do you think their focus is going to be in terms of like the map?
So really, I mean, you called it early. I would fully expect Oni to be focusing on the mid lane, try to get the Tristana ahead against Azuri, try to establish tempo because Trist is such a big split pushing strength.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, knowing that, I would 100% expect the Maokai to be focusing his bot lane, give the advantage to the Kai'Sa and Lulu, and give them the ability to get ahead of the Xayah and the Morg. Because whereas the Morg and the Xayah have that pick potential, they have that poke potential, Kai'Sa and Lulu, they want to farm. They want a heavy farm. They don't want to take these trades off. But if they can get the ganks on head on a Maokai, they have the ability to all in and pretty much just assassinate the Morgana at will. So that's where I'm expecting the focus to be coming out here. While we're getting ready for picks, though, Freak, we can bring up MVP voting has closed for the league. And top lane is going to have to be extended. A new poll is going to be going up and ending on Friday because there was a tie between Feathers and Fur and BBG Raid Boss, each receiving 12 votes apiece. So they are going to have a new vote posted, a new poll for those particular top laners, so they can establish who the big winner is for that one. Meanwhile, though, we can't talk about these other MVPs here. So the MVP for jungle is going to be, from the looks of it, IP Lock, receiving 48% of the votes to lock in and get that MVP vote out. For our mid lane selection, it does look like Cat on ahead with 52% of the voting is coming out on top as the gold MVP mid laner. We also have our supports, which looks like it is 52%. Rogue Crown 207 taking home that gold support. And let me find here the ADC, because I don't think the ADC voting has closed and been posted yet. I do not see the ADC.
Didn't see it.
So I will have to make sure we get the ADC vote tallied here. Let me pull in here. Let me see if it's closed off. Let's see here.
Now, I expect
There we
to hear the
go.
classic. Twitch chat should be saying it's rigged, blah, 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 the usual.
Onset is the winner of the gold ADC MVP. Quick fingers there from Vish to get us that information in the background. So 16 votes for Onset, winning the vote. So again, for top lane, there'll be a new poll posted. Voting will end next Friday. Any surprises there, Freak, on the voting?
I mean, no, it's mostly community driven, so I'm gonna meme a little bit and say it's kind of a popularity contest, so it's just who has more friends than the other. No, I'm not surprised. The top lane one I will say is surprising, because you were mentioning earlier that it seemed like it was heavily in raid bosses or big boss raid boss's favor, I believe. And we memed about like who was gonna get the vote and whatnot, and then we look away for 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden there was a tie. So there's that. And that one will be very interesting. And then I'm gonna give a little bit of a draft update. It appears that the Kaisa is going mid, so it is a Zeri ADC for Levy.
Ooh, all right. They flex it into that matchup, I think. Yeah, I think for me the big surprise, obviously, given my relationship with Crow and my past leagues with him, how much he's improved coming into this league. The fact that he got 30% of the team damage. The only top laner close to him was, in fact, Raid Boss, and he was second in kills, killer with total kills only falling to Slayer Ints. He was the last play. He was the third place vote for top laner. So I was kind of surprised by my guy Crow not getting the love. And really, I think it's because he just beat down so many people for other teams. They're like, no, we can't pick him. He's already been beating us up all league. So I'm going to shout it out. I love the improvements from him. But, you can't argue. Raid Boss has been just a monster. We've seen him on stream time and time again. Feathers and Fur has had some great moments as well. So, all of them were equally great. Just in my mind, looking at the stats, looking at the plays there, in my mind, Crow should have won that vote. But all of these guys were great. Really, really close voting all the way through. The other big surprise I thought was jungle voting. Pharma, had his moments, IP lock, but really Doge had shown some moments too. So I thought Doge would get a little bit more votes than he did. Mid, I mean, we saw Cat on the Head, we saw Kilgar. I mean, we saw all these guys, Faster Beyond Light, all just pop off. So that voting didn't surprise me at all. But shout out to Fast Beyond Light. You had my love. I love seeing some of those games. So we're gonna get spicy here. We got 2 minutes to go. Freak, you got anything before we take a small break?
Nope. This is gonna. If this is gonna go the way I think it is, both of these teams need to scale. This might be a barn burner. So that's all I really got. I don't know who's gonna win. To be completely honest with you, this could go either way.
Those predictions.
Bite dust. Bite dust. Bite dust. If you must. If you must. Bite dust. If you must. If you must. Bite dust. If you must. If you must. If you must. Bite dust.
We're doing alright. When we are apart, we always do the same dance. Always on the fence, never making sense. I'm not gonna feel a thing tonight. I'm not gonna be the one tonight. Don't wanna hear anything that you say. Your love is a game that I don't wanna play. So don't say you need me when I walk away. So many words but they don't mean a thing. You blur the lines between love and obscene. So don't say you need me cause we're not a thing. We're not a thing. We're not a thing. I'm doing alright. Since we are apart, you know it's always the heart first. Don't care if it hurts, you're making it worse. I'm not gonna feel a thing tonight. Not gonna feel a thing. I'm not gonna see your face tonight. Not gonna see your face. Don't wanna hear anything that you say. Your love is a game that I don't wanna play. So cry all you want, but I still walk away. Cry all you want, but I still walk away. So many words, but you don't mean a thing. You blur the lines between love and obscene. So don't say you love me, cause it's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
We'll have the infamous Riot Games pause. Oh, I'm talking and we're live. Hi everybody. So we had a pause, and that's why this kind of took so long. But we begged DKane, we're gonna get it together, and we just found out it was because of Spectrum being Spectrum because they're a really, really
An
bad
amazing company. Yeah, great company.
All right, and then we got the classic Riot Games pause that you always get for spectator, and now we back. We might get a couple more of those. So looks like we got a cheeky invade here happening. Shogath will spot this out. We'll expect them to get a ward down, or maybe not get a. Okay, so there is a ward there. They will see the blue buff. They think they might have seen where Maokai was. Not entirely sure. So that ward will spot out Maokai if they decide to do anything in that side of the map. He will drop a ward on the Raptors, kind of like trade some of that vision back and forth. And now, Riot Games pause. Never mind. All right, we back. All right. So we kind of get an idea of what's going on. We see that Oni wants to know where Asa is going to be. He's going to start on the bot side of the map. If he can delay long enough, he will be able to kind of dodge that vision, so that way he can kind of give that away. Now there is a chance that Echo does go Raptors to blue, take the blue, knowing that he's not going to be on that side of the map, but there are wards everywhere on both sides of the map. I say everywhere, but there's 3 blue wards is what I meant. Actually, let's get a gander into how much vision. That's not the wrong one. There we go. So that's the right one. So they do see the Echo right now on the Raptors. They have a ward in the mid lane, and they see the one that's on the Raptors as well. So very fully aware of what will happen. Looks like Echo is going to go to his Krugs next. Maybe a level 2 gank after he finishes the Krugs. I don't anticipate a level 2 happening anywhere except in mid lane.
Mid lane would be the only option that he could even attempt it. And he's not going to do that with a Trist and a Kaisa. It won't work at level 2. Not with Echo.
And right now she just ticks over to level 2. Kaisa also level 2 at the moment. Really good knockup. Cho'Gath will tick over to 2. Maybe not. As Director Cam takes this away. The usual. Come on. There we go. Alright. I was waiting for the tick to 2 and it didn't happen. Level 2 is ticking all over the map right now as we speak. Obviously Junkers have had it for a second, but that's not what we're focused on. All right, Echo. I'm really curious what this pathing is going to be. It looks like he's pinging mid, so there it is. Like you
He
figured.
is going to do the 3, so he's coming right to mid. So now we can see if he can set this up right for his Kaisa. Pings are out. He's in there. He does land it. He
Tower.
did take too much damage, though. He ate the tower damage. And meanwhile, Waps is not going to be able to continue that. So Oni went a little bit too hard there to set that up and pays for it. Now you've given Kaisa your red buff.
I might have lied, actually. I do not think he took a tower shot. He just got burst down by that Kaisa passive. Oh, Wrath having
Wrath
here.
flashes away at the last second to avoid certain death. Waps, meanwhile, is going to immediately leap back in. Azure, though, pretty safe, but here comes the flash from Waps to secure. Okay. Red buff transfer complete.
Wrath?
Classic Wrath of, you got to int. Wrath needs at least 2 to 3 deaths in the first 10 minutes of the game to function correctly. So, it's kind of like a boxer. You need to get punched in the face before you really get in the game. So that's standard Wrath play right there.
I actually used a comparison that I did recently because me and some friends were watching Evo. And we were watching the fighters tournament, and Homeboy would intentionally go down 0-2 and then just reverse sweep everybody. So we called it that he was spending two rounds downloading his opponents. It was actually nuts to watch, and we'll go ahead and say that's what I think Wrath is doing. He's downloading Kobe right now at the moment, and see if he decides to kind of go against that. So the bot scuttle was taken by the Echo a little bit ago. Don't think they saw Maokai. I actually don't recall if they did see him. They might have, but he's going to go ahead, get his reset. Should have plenty of gold, 900 gold, yeah. We'll go towards that first item. I would assume it's going to be the not Radiant Virtue. Oh my god.
Now he's going straight into
Demonic. That's what I meant. Going Demonic first. I've seen a lot of Sejuani recently, so like my first thought is Radiant Virtue. But okay. Wrath going in.
Wrath is going to land his knockup, but Kobe is going to come right back, land his knockup, and continuously harass. So Wrath turns around and says, thank you very much, but, this is kind of two beefy boys just slapping each other around up top.
Usually this is something we don't see. Echo is coming up here to assist. There is no vision. We'll get past this ward.
He is going to come over. He is going to put the chrono down. Here comes the Wrath. He does miss the combination there because of the flash from Cho'Gath, is able to get him saved. Meanwhile, the poke, I was talking about this early, the early poke from the Morg and the Xayah, able to get and chunk down. Now, they know the Echo's top, so Maokai could get in position for lane gank. It looks like he is coming up into the bottom to do just that. So we're going to have to see if they try to poke down more. Maokai is in position to pull this off correctly. So when the Morg steps forward, get ready. I kind of wish that Lulu would eat that stun on purpose to make the Morg come in. So Maokai's going to have to burn a lot of time now here and wait for this lane to push. So just a little bit of more patience. Here it comes. We're waiting patiently. Again, misses, doesn't. I'd let the stun hit so you could have Maokai at least then have an excuse to try to all in, and Maokai comes in. So here we go. Here is the start of Maokai is going to land. They are going to get the damage correctly. He is running, but it is close. She is able to escape there.
Dead here, I think.
I think Wrath is going to get eaten by Cho'Gath, and there we go. The classic 0-2 start from the Wrath. Meanwhile, Waps and Azure trading fire here, but Trist wins that pretty handily early on, and I think we got some trading in the jungle here. The Echo is going to try to get that scuttle, and here comes the chrono. He does not steal it. Maokai able to secure the scuttle.
Nice.
Good try. Good try.
Just kind of skirmishing all over the map. Tristana has an advantage after that return kill that she got in the mid lane. Azure is definitely feeling it, though. Down almost 20 CS, still kind of slowly catching back up. Was down in experience. Actually is down a lot of experience if go ahead and take a look. Halfway through quarter way through level 7. Barely halfway to level 7 on the Kaisa at the moment.
Here we go, Waps. Come on, get it in there. Get the ult out. There we go. Waps secures the kill on Azure. Down he goes for the second kill from Waps. He played that nicely. He sat there and waited, and just waited for the Kaisa to try to push the lane and instantly made her pay for it.
Absolutely.
Good plan.
You tick over to the gold right now, and you see she's up 700 gold, 2-0 at the moment. Also got a tower plate earlier as well, and Oh my, fighting in the top side actually.
So Wrath, even though he's down 2 deaths to 0, has a 1 CS lead over Kobe and cares not at all that he's should be behind in this league. Still trying to trade fights, little small skirmishes with the Kobe for now. Wrath will be an 0-4 before later on, and then he'll turn it around in the end because that's how Wrath functions.
That's just how he functions, though. Really exciting to see where he will potentially take the rest of this game. Because Ornn is a really good team fighter with the Call of the Forge God. That ultimate is pretty solid. It looks like Kaisa ult is down, actually. I didn't even see
Comes
it.
the Lulu from the side here. Waps is going to start getting damage on the tower, but now here comes the Kaisa. Here comes the Lulu to try to get him a little bit of damage on here. Wapso is content to trade back on the Lulu here, knowing that he can get some cheeky damage on here. Wrath misses, actually dodges the Kobe combo for once and is able to get a good trade out on the Kobe, but then right back with the getting knocked up in the air. So
I love how you just casually slid in for once. Oh wait, I think Azure's dead here.
Azure is going to get away this time, but Waps establishing total control down here in the mid lane, forcing the Lulu to try to run back. I'm shocked Morg went to the side instead of initially just trying to push the advantage on the down bot. But now we see Oni is taking the fight with Asa. Ornhorn is going to come out and try to knock him out.
Oh, he's dead.
Oni is not done chasing. He's going to put the kill on the Waps, and now Kobe is in trouble. Here comes the Ornn with the dash. Wrath is able to get that kill back onto Kobe, and now a 2-for-0 play started by Oni, just continuously chasing Maokai in his own jungle, and now Herald is started.
That's the early prowess of the Tristana coming in pretty gnarly, and she has a static shift done as well. It's just Waps got a lead and never stopped pushing it, and that's actually what you really like to see. And it's your average Tristana experience. When she gets ahead, she just will constantly jump on you, do whatever she can, you know, keep that lead ahead. Right now they're up over 1,000 gold. Dragon hasn't been taken yet, I will say, so that Mountain Drake kind of currently sitting on the map. Oh, okay, all right, Proxy, relax.
Proxy tried to step forward. I think he thought he was going to get a poly in. He had a bunch of damage in return, but they have shifted over now to the dragon. There is no real vision there, so they are going to be able to pull this dragon off pretty cleanly with the Kaisa over there. But it's going to come with a price, because Trist is going to get a lot of damage on these plates because she's been left unchecked, and she does have that lead. So have to see how many plates she ended up getting, but probably pretty certain she got probably 2 to 3 plates for that.
I think so, yeah. So it's like barely 2 plates left on that turret, and with the Demolish assisting as well, she's just melting through them. Static Shiv also done as well. She's the first one to finish an item, not a mythic, but finish an item. So superbly ahead, I think about 1,500 gold. Yeah, I was right. I was actually right. Wow, that was kind of nuts. So she's 1,500 gold ahead. Will push this in, most likely knock down this tower in the next couple of minutes. I kind of foresee her doing the same thing that she's been doing all laning phase. The second she gets an opening, Waps will take the advantage. We'll just
good stun there from Serpup lands. There's a lot of damage going out.
Kill?
They don't actually take the kill. I'm not understanding. They could have. Meanwhile, Wrath and Kobe again trading blows, but Wrath is getting dangerously close to the chomping of the Cho'Gath, but is able to back out. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there. Scarlet had the ability to end the life of the Lulu, but instead opted to back off. Maybe they thought the Maokai was close?
That's what I was thinking, and maybe out of respect for Maokai, and then Echo isn't there. I don't know. That's really bizarre, because that was a free kill, and there goes first tower. Just over a minute. So mid lane completely open now. She can kind of just roam wherever she wants. So that was close.
We do see Oni coming down here. Looks like he is going to drop the Herald to get some more plates on there. Kobe is forced to flash away. Ornhorn ult is out. Up goes the Kobe.
Big minion blocked.
He is trying to run away at this point, and the Ornn is chasing. Unfortunately, directed camera has said, no, we don't need to see the end of it because Kobe is going to get away. But now here comes Asa. with the Maokai ult coming out, Wrath knows he's in trouble. He's going to get locked down, but he's trying to get close enough to the Cho'Gath to finish. And now Wrath is on the run, but here comes the knockup from Kobe.
Yoink.
And down, Wrath is going to try to get the kill back to Kobe, but he can't do it because Wrath is on the run. Maokai is not able to finish it, and Wrath escapes by the hair of his chinny chin chin.
That was superbly close. Now, if
Oh, here comes the Kai'Sa as you're coming in and able to get the kill onto the Ornn. But now you have a Trist open in the mid lane. Are you just going to concede another tower? Because that's going to cost you a lot.
It looks like Maokai is going to try to answer. I do not believe she will be able to. Oh, I guess he will.
He's going to get there, but he can solo if he wants to. He does manage to put Waps in there, but Waps immediately backs out of the tower range, chunks out Asa pretty hard, and going right back to this tower. He's going to take this tower in a second, and Asa is going to get ulted. Here comes the leap. Here comes the flash, and Waps collects and gets that kill onto Asa and the tower as well. So, yeah, they traded the kill onto the Ornn, and then immediately Waps makes him pay by taking both the jungle's life and the second tier tower.
Wow. That's just pushing the lead that they have. Oh, this is gonna be spicy.
Scarlet is in no man's land. She does ultimate, but Zuri is on top of her. The Morg is actually polymorphed, so unable to save the Arler, and she does not get the good enough. She couldn't get the help out because she got polyed. So well done from Proxy for actually not polying the Xayah, but polying Morg so she couldn't spell shield, and ultimately able to get the kill on to the Xayah. So the Zuri finally gets a kill and a small gold lead on bot, but still got to deal with this this Trist. This Trist is a monster right now.
Yeah, and as we go back to the top side here, they're just doing their thing, and not too much to come out of it. This top lane matchup has been very entertaining to watch. Wrath has just been. Oh wait, hold on, I'll hold that thought.
Here we go. The knockout coming back out. Wrath is gonna get knocked back up by Kobe and the Cho'Gath. He knows that he's probably got help coming. We do see Azure is coming into place.
They pinged it though.
But I think he walked over. He was able to see it, and so he's no Wrath. You're not gonna go. You're not. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Oni. Wrath is going to do the Ornhorn. Ornhorn is going to knock up. Down goes the Cho'Gath, and now Azure is in no man's land. Wrath is able to flash away. Oni has Azure dead to rights, and it looks like we've got a pause.
Riot Games pause.
Riot Game pause in the middle of the fight. Well done, Riot Games. Well done.
Ice ult is up. Oh, there we go.
Nice. Here we go. She does get the return kill onto the Ornn, but Oni is chasing down and gets the Azure. Kai'Sa is going to pay. So 2 for 1. Wrath is going to take that all day. He's 1-4, just like we talked about. This is classic Wrath gaming. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fence, there is posturing around for the dragon, and they know that Oni's up top. So are they going to try to push this, or are they going to try to get a pick out on the Morg first? So Morg does spell shield and walks in knowing, but she is going to get caught out here in a second because here comes the Maokai on the other side, and she is going to get rooted. She is going to get knocked, and that's what I was talking about. So she does get picked. They do make the pick. Meanwhile, Waps dodges most of the combo from the knockup from Kobe, and you can already see Kobe's missing 30% of his health, but Azure is here as well, and the dragon is being done, so they can see the dragon, the 2 dragons. Waps is able to back off here. So interesting enough that they kept Waps on there instead of moving him back to contest that particular dragon. I have to kind of see if they're going to regret that down the road and not. They could have gotten that dragon. They could have contested it and pushed them out of the way with Waps. So Waps gets nothing for his efforts. And now, immediately,
lots of pings.
Kuiper Esports is coming over to start the Herald. But Oni and them are getting in position. Heartstuck Gold wants to contest this. So Wrath is here. He is leading the charge. Oni is going to immediately jump in, and up goes the Maokai. Down he goes. Waps is now resetting. Kobe is trying to back off, but they are not able to take that fight any further, and now they will say, we are going to do this, Herald.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 3,000 gold. I think Whips is the entirety of the gold lead at this point. Yeah, he pretty much is the gold lead. I just ticked over and looked. So, overall, Waps has just had a phenomenal game coming in so far. Is being that carry for the team that he needs. This is kind of what happens when you have double 80 carry comps. Is one of these 80 carries is going to get stupid ahead and just outscale their opponent. Arguably, Tristana in the mid lane is way better than Kai'Sa, I will say, at least from what I've seen statistically. Wrath?
Wrath is going to eat a tower shot here. He doesn't care. He's more than happy to take a trade there because Kobe actually misses it. But we do see, here comes Waps. He teleported in. He doesn't realize that Azure's in the background. So Waps thinks he's got 3v2, but he's actually 3v3. But up he goes. Azure ults on top of Waps. So Waps is kiting well. Down goes Azure. The Xayah ult also stuns out. And down goes Zuri as well for the double kill on the Xayah. Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Ruh-roh. Okay. I was in my mind. I saw that going completely different, but then I remembered this is a 2-item Tristana who just TP'd in, severely far behind everyone else is.
Laps immediately just leaping ahead to poke people out. Doesn't care. He's escorting this Shelly all the way, and they're probably gonna get this tower.
Yeah, they got it.
Ooh, the stun landed. They actually could have collected that kill, but wisely deciding to back off. So, yeah, I think you're right. In our heads, when we saw the Waps teleporting in, it's like he's going in 2v1, but he doesn't know it's actually 3v1. He does have help on the way, but he was able to just instantly almost delete one person before the fight even really began. So Waps is doing his job. He's got the quick blades out. He's got the static done. He's got the damage. They just need to kind of play around that, and they'll be in a good spot. I mean, Zuri had that small lead over the Xayah, but Xayah now able to get that double kill, able to get some more gold. And now Wrath, he doesn't care. He's gonna take some power shots here. 3, 4, but he's okay with that because it's his Wrath.
Yeah, this is his Wrath. His help coming up the way. Looks like Lulu is going to be in the area in a second. He is also standing on top of a ward, so I think he's aware that there is some shenanigans about to come his way.
He's aware, but I don't think he cares.
Nope, there he goes.
He finally is backing off. Asa flashes, roots it, but Wrath dived. If he'd have timed that dive, he would have got him in the tower. But Ornhorn's come out, is going to whiff and miss on all three. And now you see the team coming over. Baron is at 30 seconds here, so if we get a big fight here, it is possible they could turn it right into Baron, because that Triss, if he shows up, is going to melt that Baron. But they decide to just push them back. They're content here to try to get some vision around here and deny them from getting more vision there. So Oni now is going to push. He might actually dive that Lulu, because this is this is an Echo we're talking about, but Kobe does TP, and Oni's probably not going to dive both of them. But interestingly, that Echo on his build path, if you look, got 7 stacks on Darkseal.
Yep, I see it. And I'm going to flame myself for a little bit here. I said this game would be a while because of how hard these teams have to scale. Waps kind of just shut the door in my face with that entirely with the first 2 kills he got at the beginning of the game. And is single-handedly... Whoa, this is a weird Baron attempt.
So I think they're doing it to bait the teleport out. I think was the goal. They did get the teleport out, but meanwhile, Scarlet got chunked out pretty heavily. She did take a ton of damage there, but Oni is coming from the side with Waps, and Waps immediately is going to leap in the 4. Doesn't care, but Waps is going to get deleted. Chronosphere is out. The damage is coming out, but Asa is able to escape because they don't have the Triss. And Scarlet,
the feathers.
The Scarlet the feathers are flying. Oh my goodness, Zuri is gonna live. Azure, meanwhile, is able to get the kill back on the Xayah, but then he is gonna fall down, and Asa is still trying to get away from the Ornhorn. Ornhorn is going to miss, so little bit of a misplay there. Went super deep right into 4 and got instantly popped for his efforts. And even though the re-engage worked, I think Kuiper Esports is okay with a 2-for-1 trade and getting a shutdown on the Triss on their Kai'Sa.
I would agree. As a result, Azure ended up finishing the Nashor's Tooth, which is huge. Gives it that W upgrade, so we're really glad towards that. Should have the E upgrade too by now as well, and I'll actually check and see if Azure has the Q upgrade as well. No, so does not have the E upgrade yet, but I think by the next level up they will. So that'll come through for them. Dragon is started on the other side of the map. Wrath will get this top tower as well. But just right now, Heartstuck Gold are still in control of this game. I thought we were gonna see something cheeky in the top lane, but never
Ooh,
mind.
I thought we were gonna see it, but he stopped himself. But yeah, I mean, you said it right. They're in control of this game. The Triss still has the lead. In this particular game, I know folks have talked about it the last couple of weeks with the Kaisa build. This build makes sense into this matchup.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
She's gonna blow up. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to blow up the Triss, the Morg, and the Xayah. So going to Nash's Tooth with the static makes a lot of sense. Now, if there was a double tank out there, yeah, you could make the argument that she might not want to go that build. So, but in this particular manner, I'm okay with the build path that she's chosen. That's the correct build path for this game.
Especially considering you already have an AD carry in the Zeri, so you don't entirely need that extra bit of DPS AD damage. Now the normally from what I see, it looks like they're gonna take this away. He doesn't want to smite it, but he's gonna be forced to. Looks like they're just gonna establish a zone of control. Cho'Gath
So
will
Wrath
stay forward.
walks in. He is going to get polyed, and they are coming to TP on the
Kaisa
backside
can't
here.
answer this.
Kaisa cannot answer. Ornhorde comes out. Now the feathers are flying, but a 4-man knockup from the Cho'Gath. Oni is forced to back away, but the chase continues.
Oh.
Up goes Azure, and Zuri's life is claimed, and now Lulu is being hunted and chased down. The double kill is out. The Asa is hiding here. He is going to root and knock up Serpup, and he is going to dodge the Q, but they don't need to. Serpup just needs a shield, back away. Yes, they just need to do this, or they can. Waps is going to come from behind. He started on Asa, and look at Asa's health bar. He dives right in. Asa is going to get deleted by Waps. Waps isn't done yet. He doesn't care about Kobe. He's okay with chasing Cho'Gath and finishing him off, but Cho'Gath is just buying time for Kaisa while this bearing is being done to try to get at least a tower, which she does, at least get one tower out of the trade. So yeah, you lost an ADC, you lost the Baron, you got to teleport out. At least you got a tower for it.
We got 2 towers.
You got 2 towers, but yeah.
I mean, it's just that's the penalty of not bringing teleport as the mid laner. The second they go to make a play on the map, especially if the Tristana TPs, you already at a disadvantage because you can't answer that. So Azure was not able to answer that fight. As a result, his team pretty much gets wiped there. He does get 2 towers, which is good. Finishes the Rage Blade as a result, so is on 3 items, but Trist is on 3.5. That will, of course, make a difference. Oh, and Ornn's level 14, so Ornn items are coming out, and guess who got the upgrade first? Waps did. Waps is the one that got the Ornn item first.
Yeah, because he's the big boy here. Wrath is walking right into Asa, and he just walks right in. He's like, hey, I just wanted to check if your buff is available to you. Also, Brain Crane, who is a Heartstuck member as well, has pointed out that we are pronouncing it incorrectly. It's not Waps. It's Waps!
I'm not doing that. All right. Just, I mean, but I will say that's basically what Homeboy's doing. He's weaping people up, which is 9-1 right now. Yes, did give her the shutdown earlier, but this last Whisper is also going to be huge for cutting through this Cho'Gath and Maokai. Maokai did finish that Radiant Virtue. I wasn't going crazy when I said Radiant Virtue. Huh? How about that? And just Tristana he's just doing whatever he wants right now. They're also going to break open the base as well. They're going with the classic 1-3-1. We might have a fight here, actually.
I think they should be going with the 4-1-1, but the Oni is going to go in, and immediately Lulu gets blown up and ready to go on the side as Waps. He steps in. Ultimate's away. He claims a kill, but now he's in trouble. The team's in here.
Yeah.
Oni is not wanting to be here right now. He went in to help the Waps. That's actually detrimental to them, and it's going to cause them some problems. I was kind of surprised. I thought they should have done the 4-1 instead of the 3-1. Kuiper Esports, great job there, noticing that and immediately trying to punish it. Super Pup just landing that stun on Maokai to finish the job off there. And meanwhile, Wrath up top on here. So they are able to get a 2-for-2 and get some damage in, but I think they could have kept the Waps alive. They'd have just done the 4-1 instead of it. But they are at least able to get 2 towers and an inhib out of that Baron. They do have a commanding 6K gold lead. And like we talked about earlier, we've reached that 26-minute mark, which is where you want your Ornn to be. Who's going to get the next upgrade?
Should be the Zaya most likely. He might even give it to Echo to be.
The
I
Echo.
expect it to be on the Zaya. Kind of have both of these AD carries just absolutely marking through everybody. Just looking like they're pinging onto the dragon. It is the next Chemtech Drake that is up, and it's really interesting because at first Kuiper were like dragon stacking, but now it's like ever since they just lost control of the game and lost control of the map, they're not able to get anywhere with these dragons. They've lost the Baron as well. They even had to forfeit that Rift Herald earlier as well. It looks like they will see everyone all on the map, and Waps is just gonna keep doing his thing, farming up 240 CS at 27 minutes. You would almost think my man's a smurfing, but I mean that's just how easy it is to farm on Tristana. Let's be real. Ooh, good dodge on that.
You know, there's a mid that can be played that counters. I'm just saying, but Waps is not afraid to just leap into these fights with the Morg spell shield as well for backup, and just immediately dives in, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I know why he took a Bloodthirster, right? Like he's pushing it, he's dumping in, but typically you wouldn't see them take the Bloodthirster, not traditionally on the Trist, but in this particular case, because he's kind of like diving in and he needs to be able to sustain a little bit, he's going to take that Bloodthirster there. But they are able to get another inhib there and just kind of walk away. Serpup took a lot of damage there from the Maokai. The tree was abusing that, but they're not able to get the kill, and they are walking back away here. And really, Kuiper Esports, their window's closing.
Their window closed 15 minutes ago when Weps was like 6-0 or something. That window closed forever ago. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, they have Azuri, they have the Kaisa, they have the ability. If they could get to Waps and kill him they have the damage. It's just these fights, the way they're playing out, Waps is able to get in there ahead of time. So I can't say it's over for Kuiper Esports, even though they're down. So they have the gold, don't have the gold lead or anything, because you have Azuri, because you have a Kaisa, you have that ability to where if you get the priority targets, the key really is Oni. I mean, this Echo with this Trist, he's blowing up this poor Lulu and abusing the fact that it is a Lulu, and this Echo can just eat the Lulu whenever he wants.
Yeah, pretty much. Not really surprised there at all if that's the case. Looks like they are going to make a play here.
Oni sees where Zuri is, but he actually only backs away. Waps, meanwhile, charges immediately forward. Oni does get stunned out and has to back away, but he is going to come back.
Oh my god.
Down goes the Zuri, and here comes Waps on the reset. He's gone top. He's able to delete the Lulu. Azure in return gets it, but now Waps is going to be able to just go crazy and get another reset. Now Kobe is on the run. Kobe's got nowhere to go. Oni is just kiting with such low health. He doesn't need to be here. He's just trying to buy time. He doesn't need to be here at all. Wrath and Waps are going to be able to finish the job. Kobe is not able to do anything, and now they are pinging for this game to be over. They are teleporting back with minions. Timers are still going. The first one back up is Proxy, but I don't know Lulu is going to be able to hold this. Here we go. Can they get this down? This is over. No way Proxy can save this. Down goes the Nexus.
Oh my
god.
Down
goes this game. And now Zuri able to get the kill on the Echo. Oni returns fire on the Lulu. Into game one. Hard stuck gold. Pulls away. What a game.
10 more minutes, and I think Kaisa would have carried that fight because she did delete 2 people, I will say. Kaisa deleted 2 people at that last fight, so that could have gone completely different if she wasn't as far behind as she was. As you can see, the 2 needlessly large rods in the item thing. Well, Twitch can't see it, but we can. I do think if she was a little not as behind, that would have been a completely different story. At least these fights, because she was murking through health bars, I will say, and she was close. But Waps took control of the game. 33,000 damage, as you can see, did the most damage by far of everybody. So not a surprise there. And I mean, that's game one, going to the side of Heartstuck Gold. So not surprising, especially all things considered with what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before game, right? Echo, Oni was going to try to focus mid, get his mid lead, establish the split pushing power Trist. Exactly the game plan that they did. Trist able to get 2 early towers because Azure couldn't stay in the lane. Azure's trying to roam and get kills and do damage elsewhere. But unfortunately, Azure kept going top. And I hate to say this, but they don't prioritize Wrath as somebody that's going to, they need to put a lot of love into him. Wrath will do Wrath things. Wrath will stay in the game. He'll stay relevant as a team player. He doesn't need to lead. He doesn't need to go. I mean, great if you give it to him. So going after him, I think if she puts more emphasis on bottom to really get either Zuri or her ahead, this is a different game. But because she kept going top to get more kills on the Ornn and then giving up her mid lane, I don't think it made a lot of sense. And just they could never get back in the game after that. Waps continuously was putting pressure, and then they finally had enough and said, "Okay, fine. Now we're going to establish dragon control," and then just kind of pulled away at that point.
And I'm looking over, and it looks like RAR has won game 1 of their series, so that's pretty exciting, and they're on match point for that one as well. Also, we were wrong earlier about the Coachify sponsor. There is a new catchphrase for that one, and I don't have it up, but I know Astro does, I think. So
we do. So yeah, we talked about it earlier. Coachify actually just made a change today. So shout out to our sponsor. Coachify GG is a new platform for esports coaches to track their students and grow their business with 0 commissions and free to join, and a brand new PayPal integration. It's the perfect tool for coaches who want to level up. So check that out with the new PayPal integration. I'm sure that is going to be mighty tasty for some of our coaches out there. And thoughts? What do you think? What are you expecting from changes in draft? What are we going to see?
we're gonna see that Tristana through again, especially actually looks like that Kuiper is gonna dig blue side, so maybe they pick up the Tristana. That is the potential option that could happen.
I don't think they can, because I know Waps plays Cassiopeia, and Cassiopeia is the biggest counter
pick
to Trist. So unless you're going to ban, and if you ban the cast, they know automatically that you're okay, fine, great. Now you're just going to try to play the Trist, and then they either ban the Trist out. So yeah, I think it's harder to play the Trist. It definitely in a Cassio matchup. It is not a matchup that the Trist enjoys. And that's probably my advice would be to them is, if you want to bait the Trist pick, play the Cassiopeia into it.
Hey, yeah, I'm not complaining. I mean, that's what's end up happening. It's either I think Tristana's gonna be pick a ban. Kai'Sa will probably be that pick that they kind of just leave open, because it's like whoever gets it is still good on it. It just doesn't really matter. I think this game is going to come down to mid lane in this instance. Whether or not we see the Trist again, we'll have to wait till draft. Looks like we're actually swapping sides. So Kuiper is going red side. Their coach decided that they wanted to go on the other side, which is fair. You know, they probably, my assumption is even though they're going to give away first pick, they have 2 like counter picks ready to go, or 2 picks ready on off rip. But we'll just wait and see what kind of goes on there. Now, in the meantime, let's see. Oh, there was something I was thinking about prior to shoot. I actually forgot off the top of my head. It was related to I think there's really I guess really nothing else, because top lane went about as expected, as you mentioned. Jungle, actually, I wasn't surprised that Echo got the better of Maokai. I mean, he's a carry jungler versus a tank jungler. I think if that game does go longer, they do end up potentially making that game more competitive than it was. Not saying it wasn't a competitive game, but like it would have been more competitive if I'm being completely honest. So I don't think too much will change except the mid lane, to be honest with you, for game 2. It's just it's gonna be kind of spicy, so this could be something. Pretty special game 2, methinks.
So I think Kuiper will get away from banning Wrath, right? They threw a couple bans at him, and really, as we talked about Hearthstone Gold, their playstyle is put Wrath on an island, and let him cook, and he'll be relevant in team fights. His pool is too big. I don't think they should ban it. I think you're right. I think they should 100%, if they're not going to play or play the Cassio into the Trist, then 100%. Deny the Trist. But I'm also of the opinion we keep seeing the Xayah over and over again. Yep. And whoever's really had the Zaya has really been in control. I mean, we've seen the Kaisa is kind of coming out, but the Zaya just is able to stay so safe, and they can't really get to it. Yeah, they did get the Maokai to it, and the Kaisa did get to delete it a couple times, but just I would think they're gonna take away Oni's picks, take away the Zaya, and take away the Tress. But they do take the Kindred, they do take the Shyvana. So these are two of the main plays from Oni. It does still leave the Kanye open.
Here's the
It
Triss
still does
band.
leave the Echo. And then obviously now we're seeing the Triss band actually come out to kind of give a respect there. So interesting. They don't ban or want to play the cast into it. They just go ahead and take it away. And now again we see the Ivory and the Neferi and the Zyra
Swain was
bands
left
here.
open. So
So
as a result, that gets picked up, which makes
Wax
sense.
instantly takes the Swain.
So Weps also was pretty disgusting on Swain. I mean, that champion is
Wrath plays it too, so I don't think I've seen it in competitive play with him, but I do know I have played scrims before where Wrath has been on the Swain.
okay.
So he can play it. It is a flex. He just doesn't. He's nowhere near. Obviously, Waps loves Swain in comparison to Wrath, right? But Wrath can't play it. We do see interesting going with the Sedge pick, which could also be a top.
Yeah, as I'm reading this, not reading, but as I'm looking at this, I apparently cannot function. You know what that means? Hello, everyone at LXC. My name's DBZ Freak 2. I'm not drinking it right now, but you know what would actually help me with this exhaustion? A nice glass of G Fuel. Also, Nico is just locked in, so there's that as well. We're not sponsored by G Fuel, but in my dreams we are, so it's good stuff. I like it. But anyways, as we know, the Sejuani is the change of pace, and then Nico. Nico is a really strong, obnoxious pick. Caps and the LEC played it all the time, and they didn't lose a single game on it because that's how the champions broke. Also, we're not going to talk about Hansama and Mickey on Kog'Maw and Braum. That's also broke, but we're going to ignore that. I'm just going to complain about Nico first.
But do you
So
like the Nico in the jungle, or do you like the Nico support or mid? Because I prefer the Nico out of the jungle rather than the support of mid.
I don't like her in the jungle that much. Not anymore. I think before her rework it was fine, but not so much anymore personally. I think she's better in the mid lane, especially with a lot of the bait things you can do with like the minions or the jungle monsters and all that fun fancy nonsense. It's very interesting to watch too because I've seen so many clips just all over like Twitter and Reddit and whatnot of just like how obnoxious Nico can be. Rel being locked in. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Of just how
So the
obnoxious Nico
Echo
can be.
comes back out, so Heartstock Gold is going to leave it. But so here's my thing: I like Nico out of the jungle for the exact reason you said, because you don't know what lane she's going to show up to with what.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does if she's mid, the mid has to usually keep track of it. Of how many creeps are in the wave, is this the right way for it? Versus if she's in the side lane. But actually, my favorite trick with the Nico is when you're jungle and you have a pink ward, you can set the pink ward in front of the dragon and bait as the pink ward and become the pink ward. So when everybody comes in, you can immediately ult on top and set up your team. So I love that particular bait trick with the Nico coming out of the jungle. She sets up for a really, really great dragon play. But it is requires like okay, when your timing is going to be there, when do you think they're going to get rid of do the dragon, and then preempting that by putting the pink ward trap down there. So I like that play. The Janna is an interesting pickup here as well, because
Counter pick.
now you've got a lot going on with this counter on the bot.
Yeah, so at first I made a weird face when I first saw. Then I remember she is a really good counter pick into the Rel, can knock her away from using the Magnet Storm, not like from, but use it while she's using the Magnet Storm, knock her away from everybody to prevent your team from being drawn in. Interesting, they go in MF ban. That's typically the pairing, but I mean there are still lots of other 80 carry options that Kuiper can go for. Hard stuck. I mean, at this point, I mean they're feeling good after that last game, so they're feeling pretty good about where they are right now. And like we look at this draft alone in general, you have Echo really good at bursting. You have Swain really good at sustain. Rel is like one of the prime engaged champions right now at the moment. She is absolutely a high priority pick. And Jinx being hovered and locked in by Kuiper. So okay, so that is what they're going to settle with the Jinx, a hyper carry. They have to. I think that the Kuiper's going to have to do a better job of getting her in like a better position than than Zeri was in the last game, if that makes any sense to you. So I think there's gonna have to be some bot lane focus coming out of this Sejuani, and this is something that will help them kind of going forward. Hardstuck Gold have options here. They're gonna lock in the Aphelios, Mr. 200 years himself. Not feeling a lot like 200 years as of recently, but still 200 years. And then they have a top laner they can pick here. You also said the swing could be flexed, so we'll have to wait and see what the option is here. I just feel like if this is going to be a pick for Wrath for Wrath, he'll just kind of probably just pick a tank. There's so many tanks open. So, yep, just settling back with the the Nasus hover. Okay, it was a bait. Never mind. So the Ornn, we'll stick on that Ornn. As you mentioned, no matter how far behind he is, will be an absolute monster of a team player, and we saw that in the last game. And Set being the response for Kuiper. Okay, interesting.
All right, so more emphasis this time on trying to get access to the damage dealers. So this time, way more focus on we can bring the Set. It can ult into the Aphelios or it can ult it out, depending. The Nico, obviously, with the ability to surprise play, get in there with the ult, and then obviously the disengage or engage from Sedge. So more focuses and emphasis from Kuiper Esports on a more traditional kind of front to back with getting access to the backline. Meanwhile, from the other side, I mean, the sustain coming out from the Swain, the ability of the Echo on the reset, and then just a hard engage both from the Rel and the Ornn. This Aphelios has a lot of beef to sit behind to get his damage. So if they know how to work their guns, man, we're going to see a ton of damage coming out of this Aphelios. Meanwhile, they've got to try to get to it. So that's a tall order with how they've constructed this. Can't wait to see it.
I agree. This is going to be a spicy game coming into game 2. Kuiper is going to be heavily reliant on his Jinx, obviously, as mentioned. It's just the issue being is there's not a lot of damage outside of her and Nico. Arguably, I will say that Nico is one of the best setups in the game. Obviously, as you mentioned, having to count the minions. By the way, 6 for a regular wave, 7 for a cannon wave for those of you who play solo queue. So just in case you're wondering, count your minions if you're in a Nico game. I'll never forget the first Nico game I played against her, where she kind of ran down bot lane as a scuttle crab, and I'm like, scuttle crab should not be this far, and then it was Nico, and I was like, all right, I'm dead. So there's that. Because it was also like the very first game I played against her with the new reworks. I didn't know what was going on, and yep, that confirms it. Just Waps is gonna have a very interesting time, I think, this game.
Predictions are up for a couple more minutes.
Are any of you gonna vote Kuiper? Because just someone throw a bone to them. Just if you lose, you don't lose that much. If you do, just 10. So just saying.
They'll get somebody. They'll get somebody that'll sneak in at the last second. Soulkeeper will do that.
Soul would be the one to give him all of his points. That's what he would do.
He's happy to take some of my points that I gave to Momo, and now he's in possession of some of those points. So now he thinks that he took points from me directly, but really it was Momo that took points from me directly. So I think Soul's wrong on that one. They were Momo's points. Momo just happened to collect a bunch from me. But Momo and there's points for Anna Square, that his points, not my points. Okay. They were my points at one time.
Now, in terms of like gameplay, I'm not gonna get too much into like every other lane. I'm just gonna stick in the jungle for the moment. Oni is gonna do the same thing he did the last game, kind of farm up those first 3 levels and then gank a lane. Most likely, I assume Nico will intentionally, or not Nico, Waps will intentionally let Nico push the lane in to kind of open up that avenue for a first blood gank again in the mid lane. It didn't go well last time, but then Waps got a return kill, so that's why it started kind of going well. Now, now Sejuani on the other hand is going to be a little slower than Echo, I think. Her passive obviously great for taking monsters, but really only on single target camps, not as much on the bigger camps, unlike Echo's stun, which can do that, and when he gets his Q as well. So this is going to be spicy, I think. Very, very, very spicy game 2. I'm gonna be not really watching the jungle, but I'm gonna be keeping my eye on the jungle for most of the game. I have no hard predictions as to who's gonna win this game, but if Heartstuck Gold play anything like last game, we're in for another like 27-minute banger. That's all I got for this one. Do you have anything, Astro, before we go to break?
So I think in this particular game, the play is not gonna be first gank mid. The play is gonna be first gank bot. I think Oni in this game wants to establish dragon control, needs to get the Aphelios and the Rel going out. If they get behind, the Janna and the Jinx are going to poke out this Rel and Aphelios. But if they get the Aphelios ahead, same thing we kind of talked about before on the opposite end, Aphelios is going to start running us over. So I think the play here is going to be through the bot lane. He might throw a gank or two mid, depending on the positioning of the Nico. But I think the focus is going to be Nico might try to go missing to set up gank, so he's going to spend a lot of time focused on that bot lane. I've been on the receiving end of Oni hard camping a lane. I think I ate 6 ganks in 18 minutes once because he just wanted to make sure I wasn't allowed to play the game. So I remember that game, Oni. So if you remember that one, I still hate you for it, and I'm gonna whoop your rear end next time we play Catan, because we do play Catan on the weekends sometimes together. So I'm still hurt about it, and I'm going to wreck him. Yes, that was in fact the Belbath game. Chat remembering my pain of how far I got camped and how much that hurt my psyche. So Oni, I remember, love you, but don't hard camp, okay? No one
Don't
likes
hard
it.
camp. We're gonna go to break now. Don't hard camp, Oni. Don't hard camp. We'll be back.
Take me back. Take me back. Take me back.
You didn't hear me when I said bring us in, Astro. Oh no. Oh, it's all good actually. So welcome to game 2 between these two teams, Kuiper Esports and Hardstuck Gold. No biggie, these things happen, but you know what? We don't care because we're here for some gosh darn League of Legends. We don't swear on this broadcast because this is a Christian broadcast. Yeah.
Unless
I
your name is
saw
Augite, and then you do swear.
what the heck? What the heck, Augite? That's disrespectful. on the Lord's Day. I can't keep this joke up actually, so I'm gonna stop. Anyway, so as we're having a classic 5-point stance all across the map. Mid laners in the mid lane, and actually I lied. Looks like the jungler and the top laner are paired up together at the moment, and I don't think they'll see anything. I think they're expecting kind of the same thing that happened in the last game, where it was Hearthstone Gold that invaded, got that extra bit of vision, and this time they're prepared for it. Nico is also disguising herself as oh. What in the world is going on? What did I just witness? There are two such one. Oh,
She's Sedge.
that was. I'm turning my brain off. Never mind. Okay.
The power of Nico.
Yeah, I was like, why are there two Sejuanis on the map? And like in my head, I was like, I see them like in the same exact spot and then splitting off. So I thought it was like the passive, and I was like, why would you start W? And I was very confused. But junglers are starting on the opposite side of the map. There were wards dropped down, so they will be on the lookout for this Echo. ADCs looks like they're both going call start this game, so looks like they're gonna go for the farm game, the long con, get that extra bit of gold when they cash that in. Top laners, no comment. It's just gonna just be Wrath doing Wrath things.
Big boy slapping, but keep an eye on this bot. Oni started, and he's gonna have the ability to try to get this level 3 gank off, like I was talking about early. So we're gonna have to see if he's gonna try to transition or early immediately for this gank based off the position, or if he's gonna go for his full clear here in a second. So we kind of predicted that this was gonna be the case, and they don't have the vision, so he's coming. They don't see this.
Either a flash is going to be burned here or a death is going to happen. I kind of wish we weren't here in top lane because Wrath is probably going to die, but here comes ping from the Echo.
Chronosphere is out. They are going to not land the Chronosphere, but the damage is coming out on Levy, and the Ignite ticking is going to go over to the Rel. So I predicted that was going to be the case because I played this man so many times and know what he's going to do because I've been abused by it. So that's kind of insider trading information, I guess, that was coming down, and I knew it was going to happen before it happened.
I mean, you didn't tell the other team that was going to happen, so technically it wasn't insider trading. I mean, unless they're listening to the stream, then they would have known. And then it's not your fault. They shouldn't be watching stream anyways. Moving on. So you actually will take that because that first blood does go over to the Rel. You will actually not complain about that any day of the week. It doesn't go to the Aphelios. It doesn't go to the Echo. It goes to neither of the carries. So unfortunately, Levy did have to burn Flash and Heal for that. So completely down of sums. I'm actually surprised Janna didn't burn Exhaust to kind of like keep Aphelios from doing damage. Wait.
Oh, Rat does knock him up. Is he going to flash the shield and get away, though? We didn't get to see it because Directed Camera took us to the middle. Well done, Directed Camera. Oh, here comes Oni, though. Chronosphere is not going to land. Kobe is able to get away just barely.
It's also kind of risky to dive.
Serpup is going to walk into the Asa. Asa in the waiting hands there, and she is going to get stunned out. She is going to try to get away from this Jinx. Oh. She's not able to do it. Is Asa going to claim it eventually? She is going to claim it, unfortunately, eventually. She was trying to hold it off, but she was just cutting her off.
And the W prediction wasn't right either. Okay, we got a little trading here.
Waps does miss, and Azure now able to land the combo, but Oni is going to Q in return to get her out, and Waps will just walk back to lane. But Raph says, hey, Kobe, you don't get to teleport that easily, sir.
Actually, when not speaking of teleports, it looks like that Azure this time did go for the teleport, not going for that kill lane. So this time we'll be able to respond to any sort of like plays that happen across the map. Obviously, it won't happen for 10 minutes. Both mid laners are going to burn their TPs, not both, but it just Waps is going to burn his TP. I assume Azure will reset here in a second. Okay, and Kobe's still here playing a really risky game, especially with no flash. That is kind of risky. Looks like Sejuani's actually going to pet it up that way, so I do believe... Okay. It was close. Really close coming through as the set W does block the damage. Will land the Q as well. And, okay, so we're just going to cooling off here at the moment. Kobe will try to get the reset as well. Wrath will level up to level 6, so if Echo does want to come up here and go for a nice little...
Here comes the Sedge. Here comes the Sedge on the side. I don't know if he's gonna get spotted. He does get spotted. Okay, so I thought the Echo might, but he does get spotted here. Ornhorn is gonna come out. Is not gonna land on the set because he's too far back. Actually, it does land, but
there
Asa is able to flash away at the last second and not die to the combination, and now Oni
Echo is
is
not 6.
fighting four level 4 versus a level 6 and a level 5. I don't think he wants a 2v1 at that point. He doesn't have his ultimate available and is just going to back off. So cheeky little move from Sedge to avoid the Ornhorn combination damage, and then able to re-engage and get the kill on it.
Yep. Okay. So that ends up being a 1-for-0 at the end of that. Wrath does go down as usual, but you know we're gonna meme about it mildly because Homeboy will just do what he does on the Ornn later in the game, anyways. So this is the start. I think they messed up. I think that Heartstuck Gold will auto win now because Wrath ended up dying. They put the buff on, and if they kill him 2 more times, it's actually super Jover, and then it's the end of the game. But memes aside. Better positioning in this game for the side of Kuiper. They are 600 gold up, but of course there's a lot of time between like when these two teams start scaling. By this point, 6 minutes in the game, I believe Waps had already had like 3 kills. Looks like Sejuani is being in the... Oh, not Sejuani. Nico, my apologies. She baited me. See, even as a caster, you get baited by the Nico. She was getting some deep vision down in the river to kind of like find if the Echo is in the area. He is in the area, and they're just moving on. So... Now it's a little bit of a farming game, and this is going to be an interesting next few minutes. Oh my goodness, that Haymaker is definitely going to start hurting later in the game, especially after this item is done. But Zed is a weird champion that I won't say that we don't see often, but he's a weird champion for like how he sustains himself in fights with that passive of the extra healing. The lower he gets, it just kind of makes him... I won't say like impervious per se, because if you burst him down pretty well, he can do a lot of really good like team fight trading. And looks like Ornn is gonna spot Sejuani here.
He is, and he is immediately going to go on there, but you know, Set is coming down for this, and he is going to get stunned out. Wrath is in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Set ultimate. Waps is here, but Waps does not want to be here. He tries to blast, but the Nico ult lands. The Janna is going to Q, and now the chase is on. Waps is just stuck. The ultimate is coming out. Oni is not here, but is not here, and good job from Kuiper Esports on the adjustment there, and now they're able to start the Herald.
Wrath has died twice, so the clock is ticking now for his buff. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. Looks like they will get the Herald at the end of that. Ends up being a 2-for-0 at the end of that whole play. Nico doesn't unfortunately get a kill, which is okay. But your 2 beef balls that are going to be beef balling for this Jinx. It's looking pretty good so far. I mean, now they're up over 1,000 gold. This is a complete swing for where the game was in game 1. I think this might mean that red side's broken. Jinx is going to get dove here in a second, actually, if she's not careful. Looks like Janna did get here just in time, so they will call it off. By the time Janna hits 6-2, it makes dives a lot harder with her being able to just knock everyone away. First Drake is a Cloud Drake. No one's really bothering taking it right now. There is a lot of movement on the map towards this dragon, though, so we could potentially... Oh, we're not looking like we're fighting. I think Echo will start it, will he? Nope, he will spot Sejuani, though, and I don't like how Directed Cam's not taking us there because there's a scuffle happening there. We're not going to see it.
It wants us to watch these 2 big men slap each other in the face repeatedly.
Somebody got a blue buff, and I think it was Sedge. Okay, Sedge got her blue buff, actually. So that's what I think they were fighting over, and we got pinks here in the bot lane.
So Chronospear is going to miss again, but the follow-up from Rel will at least get a little bit of damage on here. And Waps is landing some combo damage. Now Oni is in trouble. Sedge is here. He is going to get rooted. He is going to knock up, but he is going to use his ultimate to get out of trouble. But now you got red-white guns, and if they can return on here for a second, the damage will come out. But Sirpup ate a lot of damage, and so did Oni, and they're just going to back away here.
The Borneeld is up now, so I do wonder if they will go for a return. No, okay, so Borneald's going to go back in for what looks like Farmer Wolves and then go to her top side. So never mind. I thought something was going to end up happening there, but they'll just Jungles will go back to their farming. A lot of ultimates were also burned in that process, and here we go. Roth doing what he does best. Roth? I don't know where I got Roth from.
The Roth of Wrath?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, interesting with Wrath on this one. He is winning the trades if they're short, but as they become extended, this is where he's losing the trades. So Kobe ultimates, but now Ornhorn is going to come out. The Haymaker, the Orn is going to finish off, and Wrath is going to take another ultimate from Asa. He's going to flash, but the double flash coming out from Asa to secure the kill. So Wrath is able to turn around, down 0-2, solo the set, get a kill back, and then Asa shows up, burns the summons to get the kill. So now they know Asa is top. Asa is trying to push. I would expect Oni to move over to Dragon real quick, but it
he's dropping the
doesn't look
Herald.
like it. He is going to drop the Herald out, so...
I don't think you do. I mean, unless the timer couldn't have been timing out because they got it almost like about 4 minutes ago. When did they get it? But fighting gank in the mid lane.
Wow, the Nico ult is going to land. Swain almost kills the Nico, but down goes the Swain with the Sedge showing up. And that is going to now, Sedge is going to immediately rotate. Kind of wondering why Oni stuck around there so long with that Herald, but it does buy Sedge time to rotate mid. Oni stayed top to deal with the Herald, and now Sedge is bot side, gets the gank on mid. Now he's moving into position here to maybe get a gank. He doesn't have his ultimate up here, so we'll have to see how that works. But Proxy is pushing forward to try to start a fight, and Rel says no, walks away.
So I understand the reasoning for using the Herald is to kind of weaken the mid lane, or the top lane tower, but I think they still had a whole minute to use it, so I'm not sure why they used it there instead of just making a play bot lane and then using it bot lane, potentially breaking open the tower. I only say potentially because Jinx doesn't have too much in terms of attack speed and damage right now, but the Cloud Drake will go over 12.5 minutes in. Long barn burner before taking this Drake. At this point, Artstuck just have to scale, if being completely honest with you. You saw how close that gank in the mid lane was. If Swain honestly had that extra codex that he has right now, then Nico is dead and it ends up being a 1-for-1 at the end of that whole thing. But man, this game is completely different than it was before. It's still just 1,500 gold lead. Kobe taking a little bit of a fight. This is dangerous to take when Set has ults.
Well, he does this time wait and get the knockout when the Haymaker was coming out, so able to cancel the effect. But yeah, the big real difference has been Asa's a lot more present with the Sedge. He has 3 kills. He's got the 3 assists, whereas Echo Oni has only been able to get the 1 assist on the kill that happened up top when they got got Wrath. But
yes.
Unfortunately, actually, I'm sorry, on the bottom on the initial gank. All the rest of his ganks have either been trying to go back top for Wrath, which I wouldn't expect him to be putting a lot of focus there. I would really expect him to be diving these mids or this bot. So kind of interesting on Oni. He's allowed Asa to get a lot of pressure on this lanes and not been there in response. Wrath is going to pick another fight with Kobe. Haymaker is still available. It's coming out, but it's going to miss. Meanwhile, Root coming out from Levi. He's going to take a bunch of damage. Rel is going to land a charge, but then Janna is going to get super in trouble, and the guns are coming out, purple and green, and down goes the Jinx. And now the damage is coming out on the Janna. Meanwhile, on the backside, we got a 3v2. Wax is now shown up. Asa is in trouble. He's trying to come out. The Ornhorn is out. Is going to knock over both. Comes the shutdown. Ooh, here comes the shutdown on the Orn. Wax is taking the tower for Wrath. Now Wrath is taking the tower. Down goes the set. And now Scarlet's on the run. Sedge, a.k.a. Nico, is now here chasing Scarlet around, but Nico was not able to get to Scarlet. So even though they did get early pressure, they lose 3 total.
Everywhere on the map, and the gold swings immediately back in their favor.
Immediately back over.
Immediately. The shutdown on the Sejuani goes to, I think that went to Ornn, I think, right?
Went to the Ornn. Mm-hmm.
Fat influx of gold. Actually, what am I doing? I could just proceed and look. Okay, yep. Big shutdown onto the Ornn there. And then kill over to the Aphelios, which that's the hyper carry for later in the game. You want him to be strong. Esper's in trouble, actually.
Asper gets caught out here. Serpup doing his best to stun. Waps is getting the damage and he's not able to get away. Waps is landing the combo. Azure goes golden. I don't know what he's going golden for. He's trying to get away. He does land the stun. And here comes the team. Asa is here. Levi is here. Oni is now here. But now Proxy is here. And nowhere is the ADC. Where's this Aphelios at? He didn't show up to the party. Waps lands and grabs
Now
3,
he's
but now
here.
Waps is catting. Here he comes Scarlet from the backside. Can he get in this fight? He does now start getting some damage out. Waps is kiting, and now they're forced to try to retreat. They're in between, but Waps cannot get to the Sedge before the Sedge gets on top of Scarlet, and now Scarlet is in trouble.
Oh,
It's now
good flash.
Scarlet. Oh, nice flash from the Asa. He's not able to get away, but now Oni has arrived at the party,
What
and
is
he's going to
going
dive
on?
in. Levi is coming down. Proxy's coming down. Now you have the Nico getting back into the fight. The ultimate is out. Down goes Oni, but Waps is still kiting. Waps' ultimate is still going. He's able to just
Rel's
continuously
back.
to sustain. Serpup is back to the fight. Round 2. Here we go. Waps getting the kill on Sedge. What did I just witness?
We witnessed pretty much a minute straight banger is what we witnessed. And if there was any way for us to have a replay system, we would definitely need it to recap everything that happened there. But I will try to the best of my ability to kind of recap what happened. So Nico was in the midst of trying to escape, but gets flanked by the Rel. Ends up getting caught. They do a lot of damage to her in the meantime, but not able to secure the kill at first. But Waps ends up securing that kill. Then you have the nonsense that's going on the river. Aphelios is not there, but everyone else is. So they're getting, okay, hold on a second. Waps is potentially caught here. Potentially. Okay. So back to the river fight now. At this point, after the Nico had gone, or not the Nico, the Nico was gone. Now you have Jinx, Janna, and Sedge in the river. Looks like Aphelios is going to rip open that tower, so that'll be free for him. You have Sedge, Jinx, and Janna in the river. They get collapsed on by the Swain and the Aphelios, who ends up running away, I believe. I think Ornn was there. Yeah, way too much happened there to where I don't even remember what happened. It was like a minute straight of fighting. It ends up being, I think, a 3-for-3 at the end of that whole thing, if I remember correctly. And then Swain is finally at that point where he's really strong. And they're paying for it right now on the side of Kuiper. It's just now with Waps being at that really annoying point where Swain can just sustain for 90 years.
Yeah, Nico, you see, she's bought the orb, so
in the back.
she did get the heel cut there. But
Double
now
TP.
you see here Waps coming in on the backside. He's got Levi Admiral cornered. Levi is forced to back out and away, and meanwhile Kobe is getting into this fight. The ultimate from Nico. The ultimate is being set up beautifully. The wombo combo. The Sedge getting the double kill, and now Waps is into this fight on the backside. Oni is in trouble. He's stoned up. He is able to get the ultimate at the last second, but now you have a situation where Oni's on the run. He doesn't want to be here. He's trying to back up. Wrath is chasing down Asa. Asa cannot get away from this, and now Waps is now on the chase with Wrath, and they are chasing Azure and Proxy around on the sides. They're trying to block him in. They've started Dragon. I wonder if they're going to try to bait this real quick. Ooh, Waps gets caught out by the ult, by the Q, by the stun from the Azure from Nico, but they're staying around. Here comes the Jinx ult to buy a little bit of time. Waps is going to get stunned out, and unfortunately, Oni's taking the Dragon. He doesn't want to tank it. I think that was a whoopsie from Oni. If they had just pushed them out together, they could have waited for their team to restart, but they don't. Oni tries to start the Dragon. He's so low, and he doesn't have any sustain. So he's going to have to pull back, get his red buff, and try to get a reset in.
Yeah, I think this Dragon should, in the meantime, go over to Kuiper. Yeah, they're pinging right now. This Dragon will definitely be going over to them. And then once again, you have one of those wild moments. What the hell? All right.
We go.
What a memer that champion is. But it's one of those things where there was a double TP in the back from Ornn and Swain. It was going to be a pincer play, but the problem is Jinx separated herself from the rest of the team, which kind of split the fight. Now Jinx, yes, does go down, but as a result, Set able to ult in on top of the back line, ends up just kind of like nuking almost Scarlet there, and it just didn't go the way it needed to for Hardstuck Gold, but it went very much in the favor for Kuiper there. They're feeling pretty good. They're still down 2,000 gold. Mostly, I think, let's check and see if the gold lead is Waps again. Nope, so it looks like it is more top lane and bot lane that have the leads that are aiding to this. So good on them. He just
Kobe ulted the Aphelios on top of the Nico, who then ulted on top of that, followed by the Sedge ult. That deleted the Aphelios and the Rel. But then Oni, who got taken really low, ulted back in return, and then that's where kind of the fight just kind of evened out from there. But the initial setup from Kobe to ult the Aphelios in, and then the Nico with the Sigil on top was really, really beautifully done.
Well done.
If Jinx had not been such out of position with Waps chasing her, they'd probably get a quadra kill for Jinx out of it. But unfortunately, she got caught out by the Waps when he came in. And if Waps had been in the other position as well, they probably would have cleaned up and gotten at least all 5 of the ace out of it. But yeah, solid wombo combo kind of coming out there. Luckily, Waps had been chasing Jinx, so she was not in that combination. Was able to do a lot of work because Waps is waiting for the team to show up. Here comes a stun.
Okay.
Oni just deletes Nico from the map and says, "Thanks for playing." In response, though, Kuiper on the backside immediately goes to Baron to try to get this Baron out and trade her for a tower and a kill. So we're going to see if they get here. They might. They're going to get here. Oni at least is going to get at least close. Maybe he Chrono Spears in to buy some time.
I'm going to throw up.
But he is trying to Chrono in, but he is not able to get into the pit. But now they're trapped. Ornorn is coming out. Ornorn mixes proxy, but she is going to down to the Janna. And meanwhile, Set is going to ultimate, but Set is in trouble. Haymaker comes out. She is able to secure the kill on Scarlet, but he's still in a lot of trouble. Down he goes, but he's going to take that all day. You're going to take the kill, the style kill on the Aphelios and the Baron. So what ends up being a 2-for-1 and a Baron. Well, 2 for 2 really, if you count the Nico being caught out there. So 2 for 2, tower for Baron. I'll take that trade.
Also, we will definitely see. I think it's worth it for Heartstuck Gold in the long run. They did take away 3 Barons as a result. We'll count Nico as 1 already because she was dead before that. So there's really only 2 Barons left on the map. I don't think you're going to complain too much about that if you're either side, but that was a really good response play to take the Baron immediately. It wasn't really on spawn, was it? It was close, but that's a really good trade that you'll take any day of the week. Now, this doesn't put them in the gold lead. This doesn't put them in a commanding position per se, as Aphelios now also has the IE, I will mention. So this will be a very interesting turning point for the game, I think. Jinx not finished with her IE as of yet. I mean, if it were me, I'd probably build Gale Force on her, but I am a degenerate and love Gale Force, so we're just gonna leave that there. Now, in terms of
fighting words in this channel about that item, ooh, buddy, watch out.
I said what I said. I love Gale Force. I'll fight anyone. I won't actually fight you. I don't like confrontation, so yeah, we'll just stick with that. Anyways, moving on. So the Drake is up in over a minute. This Baron probably won't do much if I had to guess. I mean, it could, but like I don't
might buy you a dragon. It might buy you a dragon.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Is that's probably the most that they'll get out of it is the dragon. Other than that, I don't expect too much out of them to get anything else. So across the map, they should break him in this mid tower as well, unless this flame gun is going to be really good. All right, it is actually going to clear the way pretty nicely. That's not the real Nico, and I had to remind them.
They got really excited there for a second. So did you, but it's not the real Nico. But more importantly, they weren't able to crack the tower. They weren't able to get good vision, and now they're resetting. But Oni says, "You're not going to reset." She forces the flash out of the Janna immediately, almost taking Janna to 0 from 100 in a span of 5 seconds, and Janna forced the flash for her life. And now, how do you try to push forward in this dragon?
I think so.
Raps and Wrath are playing 5v3 at the moment. Now Oni jumps back in, but he immediately gets ultimate by the set. The ultimate, he is going to go golden, and the wombo combo is going to come out, but the Swain damage, and now Scarlet's in the fight, and they're trying to get to Scarlet. She is on the run. He is going to jump over the wall, but Scarlet is kiting the Sedge, and Wrath and the 2 tanks are just smacking each other, and now Ace is on the run, sliding over. Rel says, "Get over here. I need to talk to you about your extended car warranty, sir." And now, here comes Wrath. He's still chasing. Ace is going to go down. The ace for Heartstuck Gold. Wrath, who started off 0-3 pretty much, is now 4-5.
Okay. That's also Kobe, who's 4-5, by the way. But, yeah, just these set ults.
4-3.
These set ults are just absolutely nuts. I will say, Kobe playing out of his mind on this. I don't think they still get this Drake, do they? Oh, they're TPing for it, so maybe Swain will come through and help this, but they're gonna have to absolutely murk this thing pretty quickly. And I just love how he gave the Ornn upgrade to the Rel. This is not gonna go down that quick, and this will be soul point for Kuiper if they get it. I think you just finish the Drake. Just finish the Drake. Do not fight this. Just okay. Well, they're
No. They got it out here on the side. Oh, here comes the Rel. She is gonna go in, land a 4-man stun, and now the Oni on top, and here comes Waps. Nico is going to land her ult, and down goes Rel, but the damage coming out of Waps, Wrath is going to claim the Nico and now get caught in, and now Aphelios is here to the party, and another just terrible placement on that fight, and now Asa, again, is being chased down. Oni needs to back up here. He doesn't need to be here. They got the Aphelios, they got the damage. It's okay. But Sedge is going to try to get some damage on Scarlet. Scarlet's now tanking around. Wow. Scarlet is going to die, and now here comes Oni back to finish off and get the ace.
Just do the Drake, lads. Just do the Drake, lads.
Just take the dragon. Just take the dragon, guys. Come on.
Your AD carry is dead. You cannot take the base. Now, Weps will push I don't know if he'll get the tower, but I think we have TPs up here. Okay, so Nico has TP, so this fight's not done. Let's be real. If she TPs into the pit, she's a madman. Okay, so she's just gonna go ahead and just back it off. I'm not gonna lie. This has been what are you doing, Oni? Please. Thank you. All right. This has been kind of an insane, I will say, last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes have been nothing but pretty much fighting. First we had that top lane or that bot lane thing where Nico got picked and the Baron was taken, and then it ended up being a 2-for-2 at the end of that whole thing. And now it's just fighting over this Drake. It felt like we were fighting for like 2 straight minutes. We have item completions coming in now for multiple members. The Thornmail for the Ornn, and then the Frozen Heart for the Rel. Last Whisper for Echo, even that'll probably be Lord Dom's most likely. And then Zonya for the Echo, who did use Stopwatch earlier in one of those fights, and then just kind of survived, I believe, because I think that was when he was close to dying to Sejuani in the choke point. But we're just at a really crazy point in the game where, even though it is like a 4,000, almost 5,000 gold lead for the side of Hardstuck Gold, this game is close, I will say. And would you agree? I mean, it's so close, even though the gold lead is lying to us.
The fight should, the Kobe's doing work. Kobe and Ace are doing work. Even with 3 people on, Ace is able to collect a kill on Scarlet.
Oh, this is gone.
But the Baron is being melted. They don't have good vision in this pit. And unless Set does something crazy, this is going to go over. But Oni's taking control of this game. He's got Magi's fully stacked. He's got Lichbane. He's got the Proto Belt. He now has Zonia. So he can delete in one combo Janna, Jinx, Nico. That's it. And there you go. You just saw it right there. Janna ulting, but she's still going to die in one combo. So now you have a situation where he can delete any one of those 3 at will on these fights without any question. And now your support's done. You have even less to keep alive. And he don't care. He's going to take the fight to all of them. He's still got his ultimate up.
I think you could just.
How do you deal with this at this point? So they're just switching over. They're just going to push and keep taking towers. They know they can't really get in much of a team fight here.
Wait a minute.
But they are going to land it. But here comes the damage on the backside. Oni is going to delete Nico immediately, and the Haymaker's out, but they don't care. They're taking the damage on here. And Hardstuck Gold just pushes right through with Oni taking clear control here on this Echo. And they are going to end this game at that 30-minute mark. So well played for both sides, but again, just Echo just doing work. Gotta get that last kill, guys. Gotta get that last kill.
Wow. I mean, I don't think anyone doubted Hardstuck Gold for what they could do. I mean, that game was much closer than the first one, I will say. I mean, they got control, or really, I'll just say Waps took control of game 1, and again, did the most damage. God bless, man. You still see the client, right? You see Homeboy did 31,000
Waps did 31k damage, Aphelios did 16k, Oni had 26k, and Wrath on the tank, because tank damage did 20k. So
I know, right?
You saw Kobe coming in. He did work. He had 20K. Sedge doing work. He had Asa 23K. Azure 16K. The Cheeks just never had time to really scale, and just with that
Oh,
Echo, got instantly deleted. And honestly, I saw the Janet pick, but this is where you would have wanted the Lulu to immediately poly the Echo and keep the Echo from deleting somebody initially, but just unable to contain Oni on the Echo, and just allowing him to just delete Nico or Janna or Jinx at will, pretty much taking them out of the fight.
yep. And it was really impressive just to see just the commanding control that Hardstuck took about. I think I would say they started taking control about 13, 14 minutes into the game. And it's like they never stopped the train once it started rolling. It just started rolling faster and faster as the game went on, much different than this previous game. Unfortunately, this does mean that Kuiper do take the loss here. I do believe that means they are. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of my butt cheeks. There's not a lower bracket, right? Okay, nope. Okay,
They
so
are
they are
eliminated at
eliminated.
this
So
point.
unfortunately, and Heartstuck Gold move on. Your opponents will be to be determined. Actually, I lied. It looks like you were playing against TV Brad Bolster, if I'm looking correctly. So have fun with that one. Brad Bolster.
So
Oh,
TD,
never
yeah,
mind. I lied. It did get picked. Okay. I thought this was a normal bracket, but no, everyone gets picked. Okay. All right, never mind. I'm wrong. So I'm still gonna say you're probably gonna go against Grad Bolster Gaming. I'm gonna make the bold prediction right now. They are a pretty strong team, but I do think you guys can handle them regardless of of whatever happens. And even if you end up getting picked up by Business Time as well, you guys are still a pretty strong team. So we'll have to wait and see what happens when time comes along. Overall thoughts though is Kuiper played pretty well, I will say. It's just unfortunate that that Heartstuck Gold, I won't say had more of a game plan, but had more of a better control of what they wanted to do on the map is what I'll say instead. So they like from minute one that we saw in game one, they had an invade and they got vision down. They wanted to know where the Sejuani was going to be. And then from there, if Oni would take control, ended up getting that gank and level 3 gank, I believe, after doing his top side. Unfortunately, dies the first blood, but Waps is like, yeah, JK, I want that red buff back, so ends up getting first blood and to just keep snowballing his lead with that red buff and just kept going and going and going. Game 2, they fell behind. Wrath did Wrath things. Was like 1-3 at one point. Ended the game 6-4, by the way, so there's that. Oni started the game, I think, 0-2 and was not doing so hot at the start, and 14-2. So it's like this team, even when they're down, they're still not out. They will fight to the limit over this, and that's a team that I respect. But that'll do it for me, Astro. If you have anything, take it away, and that'll do it for us. Otherwise,
yeah. I mean, we talked about going in, right? Like, Oni likes to play the aggressive champions.
mm-hmm.
You took the Shyvana and the Kindred, but you left the Echo, and it puts you in a hard spot. Oni going back to jungle for them makes them a completely different team.
Yeah,
Brain Crane, he came in, he sub jungle when he's in ADC. And I can't remember who initially. I think it was Abi was supposed to be the initial jungle to replace Oni, because Oni actually wasn't going to play most of this split anyways. But when he's on their team, they are a different team. He just exerts so much pressure and causes so many problems
yeah,
because of his champ pool. And Sedge played beautifully. Like, Asa countered with the Sedge. Asa was 3-0-3 to start. I mean, she was getting early
yep,
pressure for her lead for her laners, but just ultimately, when you have these squishy targets and you're on an Echo after 6, it's like, okay, well, fine, I can just keep continuously attacking these targets and they're going to fall over like dominoes. And
right,
Waps just going into 4 people and saying, can you kill me? We looked at the damage numbers, but I'd be curious to see what those tank stats are. How much damage Waps tanked in comparison to Wrath, because I don't think there'll be much difference there.
I don't know.
I think we if we could see those stats, I think we would see that Waps tanked a lot of damage and did a lot of work on that Swain. which is why a lot of teams have opted to ban the Swain from him. But they saw the
Right.
damage with the Trist and said, "No, we'll deal. We'll prefer to deal with the Swain than the Trist, and just keep your esports." Even though they got an early lead, they had early pressure. Jinx was their hyper carry. She was the one that needed to get the leads, and unfortunately, you saw the Sedge try to give her kills, but she couldn't. She was just too far out of position. He had to take the kill on the rail down bottom, and then on the other gank, the ignite tick. Unfortunately, from the Janna, and then he tried to. He looked like he was trying to pull up and get the stun, so then Jinx could finish off. But with the ignite ticking and the stun passive hit, it killed the ADC. So unfortunately, Jinx lost out 2 kills from there, and just from there, just straight brawling. Looked like for 7 minutes straight.
Yeah.
You had that extended almost minute and a half fight where Nico dies twice. And comes back in, is the initial target, dies to Waps, and then the fight continues. Oni shows up. Sedge claims the life on their down bottom. On
Rel
the
comes back
Aphelios,
too, like-
Rel comes back into the fight, and then like from there on, it's just a complete. It carries over to the dragon, and then they have the bot push going on forever, and then you straight into the Baron play. So it was just like a 7-minute brawl there that just gave control of that game to Oni, because I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills in that span when he was behind. So I think he was like 0-2 up until that point, and then when that hit, he got like 7 kills, and all of a sudden he was like 7-2. Magi's was completed, and then from there just snowballed out of control. So, really fun games to watch tonight, and hoping we will get the verdict of the last game. I think they're in game 3 right now. Did they win?
No. I'm saying it's 1-1. They're 17.
Okay, it's 1-1, and they are currently playing on that game 3. So we'll have to see what happens there. But as always, Freak, love casting with you, and I got nothing else. Have you got nothing else?
I got nothing else, so that'll do it for us. Keep tuned in to the Discord. My brain is completely shutting down because it's bedtime. But keep an eye on the Discord for who wins the other series, so that way, once from there, then the matchups will be slated for next week. More best of 3s coming up next week, and then after that, it's the barn burners best of 5s, baby. You won't see me, because if those things go to midnight, I will actually off myself at work. So you'll have 2 other great casters, whether it's Astro, Augite, whoever. So we'll just be looking forward to that. But we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good night. Good night. I'm going to bed. See you later.